Hey guys. Okay, so I'm back and I did not plan on going to make a video. I didn't plan on making a video when I got back to the room, but I'm definitely going to consider myself making another video because I want to get myself out there. There are other ways that I need to figure out the YouTube algorithm, and I've been, posting whenever I could and can. And I just recently made a video, and I also posted some information on my page on Facebook, one of my public pages. Um, I listed a sentence that stated that if anyone was open for a conversation, whether it was on Zoom, Skype, StreamYard, wherever it is, if you want to have a conversation about the way that the world should go, because basically I want to have a conversation about everything, whatever floats the boat of the direction that my content is going in. It's okay to cover other topics, or separately, but we would probably cover, of course, other topics within the topic somehow. Whenever we are discussing a particular type of topic. So for those who do not know me, I am Christopher Williams. My YouTube channel name is Mj'sBlueTHRILLER. I recently changed it from Christopher Williams DC to Mj'sBlueTHRILLER for political reasons. No, scientifically reasons. And let me just break this down. So I'm from Washington, D.C. I was raised in North Carolina. I have a very small family, and I basically, after I completed high school and went off to college, I left college during my second semester, and I went directly into work. And from then, I've been having different jobs to obtain. And some jobs I felt like, it wasn't my desire to be there. And for those who know already, my dream job was to be a news reporter. And then I got more opportunities by, going to a trade school or going to, a four-year college that is specifically designed around becoming a news reporter or a news anchor. And then I was hit with reality, and because I had a very small family, and I had to rely on myself for help when it comes to resources, and I didn't really have such of a big supportive help. So I maintained the best way that I could within the skills that I already had. And I knew that going to school would be some money, would cost a lot of money. And I also knew that I needed to provide a roof over my head and make sure that I was living well and healthy. And that kind of much took a toll on me, because it was easier to get the temporary jobs, but it wasn't easy to get the jobs that were more permanent. And if it was permanent, it didn't really last long. And that is definitely because of the way the system works. Some people, you need to be in a position to have some type of college degree in order to keep your job for longer than a temporary position. And some people make it and they don't, but that may not be your field that you desire, and no job is going to work well for the person's mental state if they are not loving what they do. So let's just say throughout the years, I've been going back and forth trying to find the right employment. And some jobs I felt like, it was a good fit for me, but it still did not last long. So I was just up in the air trying to bounce around, finding another job that works. Some jobs didn't last long because of certain routines, but we all have certain, issues within our workplace, or had. But I always knew that there were other jobs out there for me to work in. And I definitely know that that is true. I know that there is some type of employer out there that I work well with, that I will get along with, that I will, and I get along with everyone. But we all don't get along with everyone, of course. But, you know, an easy person with a good heart and a good spirit, easy to get along with, someone who understands people and situations and how to deal with certain things within the workplace. You know, they deserve a great space to work in, a great environment to work in. No environment is perfect, but there are some environments that are just right for the person to work in. And it goes a little like YouTube. You know, YouTube is a great place for me, and I have been posting whenever I could, and some days, you know, I didn't post, but I definitely would love to have a position to work for YouTube or with YouTube, so that I will be able to, generate my own income from YouTube and won't have to rely on standing on my feet for hours and, working for someone else, because I would enjoy working for myself. And that's just something that I wanted to talk about. Let's see. So let me go back to the reason why I changed my name from Christopher Williams DC to MJ's Blue Thriller. But we all know that Christopher Williams is my name, and DC is from District of Columbia, because I was born and partially raised in DC, but I was raised a little bit more in North Carolina because me and my family moved here when I was around 5, 6 years old. MJ's Blue Thriller. Okay, so I had no idea that there were going to be two kinds of very, very good famous people that are living in the world today. There were going to be, and this is all written, documented in the Book of Enoch and in ancient history. There are rulers or people who are well known today who were here before, and as you all know, there are a lot of information that we have today that came back from ancient text. And the very first people here on this earth were African Americans. They were basically Africans. Okay, then you go with the Ethiopians and the Moors, and another list. It was 4. And I forget the other one. It's on the tip of my tongue. Maybe you know what it is. But it was only 4 ethnicities. And then over time, the mixed breeding started to happen, and many people started to, adapt to different people's lifestyle and create other ethnicities. There is something very cool that I want to mention, that if you go on YouTube, you can look at Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was here, and I didn't say he's gone, and I know I just said was, but there are going to be 2 Michael Jacksons, 2 Barack Obamas, 2 Michelle Obamas, 2 Ashiras, 2 Enochs, 2 Pharaohs. It's like 2 of each. And the thing about African Americans is that our DNA comes from the Christ bloodline. And because we as an African Americans come from the very first originated ethnicity created ever, this is the reason why in other races, they can, match as a similarity and look the same as well, of course, throughout the years. But the very, very, very first ethnicity ever created were Africans. And I had no idea that people were out to look for the second Michael. And there are people right now who knew that I was Michael. Michael Jackson went to school during his early years, and he attended a Scientology school, I believe, and he studied ancient history, and he studied the different aspects of the African American culture, or just should I say the African culture. And he studied the religion and everything that had to deal with the ethnicity of an African American, and of course other ethnicities as well. But Michael Jackson knew that he was going to be able to come against a second version of him. And Michael Jackson came out with the album entitled Invincible. And there's two different words that are similar, but they're totally different meanings. Invisible means that, you know, it's something that you cannot see because you're looking straight through it, and that something is right there, but you cannot see it because it's invisible. Invincible is different from invisible. Invincible means, with a C, only means that something that is valuable, something that is strong, something that is powerful, something that is life-changing, something that is great and, you know, just powerful and very big and life-changing, but you cannot see it, but it's something that you need. That is invincible. And Michael Jackson was already invincible, you know, even though we knew how powerful he was, or should I say is, even though we know how powerful Michael Jackson is, and even though we know, you know, the music that he's created has touched many hearts, the money that he's donated to charities, the things that he has done to help the world rebuild themselves spiritually, because he did include the gospel inside of his music, we definitely know for sure that he was invincible. Okay? And this time around, because there was a second Michael coming, Invincible was the name of his album released October 30th or October 31st, 2001. He released Invincible, and the album is white, and it shows his face. And as you can see, if you look at the album cover of Invincible and you compare it to my face, you can see that the eyebrows, the eyes, the lips, everything is similar. And many people knew that I was the second Michael, but they did not want to say anything because they didn't want anyone to ruin it. And that was the best idea ever. But they also didn't want me to ruin it, because if I would have went around telling everyone, knowing that I was young, probably would have thought that they were crazy. I probably would have told someone, and then, you know, the whole entire plan, whatever they had planned for me, would have been, you know, ruined probably. But Michael Jackson wanted to save this moment, and the time that Michael was supposed to be coming out for the world to see, for people to really realize, was in 2020. And it was very, very very strange. It was very strange, but it was very challenging for me to continue to be myself, and like, okay, do I act like Michael now, or do I not need to act like Michael, because I just need to be myself, because I'm already, you know, whatever it is, you know, I just need to let it be beautiful. So I don't need to act like Michael, because, you know, I'm like, okay, now that people know that I am the second Michael, what is going to happen now, you know? So knowing that, you know, I started my YouTube channel off, and this is a little bit off, but it's going to tie into the message of why I call my name Mj'sBlueTHRILLER. I started my title off MJ because Michael Jackson, whenever I started posting my videos on YouTube from the beginning, I was posting things about how to save the world. They had no idea about Michael Jackson, about, you know, I had no idea that the things that I was posting and the things that I was doing every day in my life was similar to the things that Michael Jackson has done. and I would post things about, say how to save the church, and um, how to share the word of God, and how to get people to understand who they are, and how to grow within the world of income, and how to, manage certain things, and, things within your everyday lifestyle in order to make the world a lot better, a better place. And other things that I would do also, but I thought about it and I said, wow, these are some things that are similar to Michael. Like, really, these are things that are similar to what Michael has already done, but they were totally different. So I started posting some videos on YouTube, and I got some views, and some views I didn't, because I didn't really understand the algorithm very well. But I was posting some videos with very good content, but I wasn't getting as many views, even when I was following the algorithm and I was posting consistently. And, yeah, I could have done some thumbnails and things like that, but, I had very good, valuable information that was worth so much money. And yes, it really was. And, I just wouldn't get any views, so I ended up doing something completely different, and it was, something that was not considered appropriate from YouTube guidelines, and my account was terminated. So I had 3 strikes. So I ended up making a whole nother account. So then I ended up getting on YouTube again, gracefully, and I would go to work, and I'd come home from work and get on YouTube, and then I ended up getting more creative, and then, I started following the algorithm, and then I just, I didn't want to just, talk about other celebrities just to get views. I wanted to just be myself and talk about other things, and it made me a little bit hard. It made it a little bit hard for me. So I had to eventually, get a little bit creative again, do something a little bit off the wall, and then I got more views. So it's like people wanted to see the naughty side of me, because that's what I posted, and it was almost like, okay, people want to see that, but I had to be very careful because I don't want to get my channel terminated. And before you know it, I ended up, I ended up doing it again and again and again and again. But then it went on to Twitter, and I went a little bit creative on Twitter, and Twitter was way out of control. But of course, no one could deactivate your account. No one can Twitter can't terminate your account for a lot of things that YouTube would terminate it for. And I eventually ended up, posting things that were a little bit naughty on there. And then, I got a lot of views. I got a lot of followers. And then, I had a friend of mine that is on YouTube, and I had someone that I subscribe to recommend me to, hey, Chris, maybe you should, share the gospel, because you do know the gospel, and you don't have to, exploit anything naughty for people to see. You just get attention so you can get views. Here, I have a plan for you. You share the gospel and let other people know, but as you do that, morph into Michael Jackson. And morphing means to share different photos or images or videos of a particular person, but also be creative while you're doing it to let someone know that this is who you're referring to within the images that you're displaying. So I will share a photo of Michael, or share a video of Michael, and put the gospel, or put something that he would say that is similar, but also keep it 100% me. And I actually found out that I really didn't need to put anything that he said. I can just be myself, and when people read it, they can visualize Michael speaking within the words that and the sentences that I actually, express. And it was scary, but I said, whoa, this sounds like Michael whenever I say it, or whenever you reread anything that I write and you visualize Michael Jackson saying these things, it turns out to be Michael. So a lot of people like to say that Michael passed away and came inside of my body. I have to be 100% honest. I don't even believe that, I can't believe the media, but I just wanted to say that I do not believe that Michael Jackson is dead. I don't. And I'm not going to say that he is, but just know that, I do know that once you're, with certain secret societies, you can pretty much hide anything. And that's all I'm going to say. Because there are other pieces to the puzzles that I put, and it didn't seem right. Like who his secret children are, and they would cover up for him and things like that. And, his secret children didn't even feel like it was correct, and he was seen at his own funeral and this, that. And if you understand Michael, you understand Michael. Just put it like that. So yeah. So the MJ is for Michael. Blue is for whenever you are a good person and you do good for so many people, and the world wants you to change the world by having your good ideas that help enlighten people so that people can change, and you give that to them, which is the gospel, because that's something that Michael did. Because God said whenever you share the gospel, you heal people and you give people the answers to a better world, a better way of living. So once someone shares the gospel and give you the answer of a better way of living, and you do the complete opposite, and you don't heal anything, and the person that's giving the message heals it, then you make that person feel blue inside. So that's why Michael was called a blue gangster. And he coded that in his album called 7 Even, featuring Akon, with the blue star over his eye. You can see it on my wall, actually my cover photo on my Facebook. Michael Jackson actually called himself the blue gangster because he will look like, the second Michael will look like a gangster. Because people like to tell me that, he looks like a thug or he looks like a drug dealer, and then whenever I open my mouth, they're like, whoa, okay, he sounds like someone else who doesn't even, live in a community that deals with drugs. That's what people tell me. So I'm like, okay. So that's that. And something really, really interesting is that the thriller is that whenever there is a second Michael and he is repeating the same thing that the old Michael has said, and he's in a different image, then that is thriller, because you got the Michael that was the Michael that he had demonstrated. Now you have a second Michael, and this Michael is giving you the same thing, just a little bit different, because I still know the gospel. And even though we just went through a pandemic, and even though I didn't have, a lot of family support as, a child would really need, out of everything that I've been through, I still know the gospel very well. And that is enough thriller, because no matter what, I've gone through, no matter what I'm doing, I'm still able to teach the gospel to those who really need the word of God. No matter how mistreated I've been in the past, I still have the heart to give the gospel. And some people will be fed up and completely done. And I can't help it. I can, but it's just not in my heart to harm anyone. And, no matter what I've been through, that is not what, my life is determined to be in the future. And that is completely it. So another thing that I wanted to, so that's MJ's Blue Thriller. Now you guys got that. So another thing is that, I wanted to collab with someone who would like to talk about, let's see, the ways of the world. Everyone has heard the term about you know, you can't save the world, you know, don't try to save the world. And the thing is that, you know, that is old school. And I will, you know, because other people are trying to save the world as well. You know, you wouldn't be posting videos on YouTube over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's what bores people. You know, well, unless you're getting paid, you're getting money, then you really don't care about repeating the same thing over and over again. Because I wouldn't. But whenever you know, share the same information over and over, obviously you're trying to reach someone so that someone can get the help with your advice. And basically that is just another way of saying that, you know, you're trying to save someone. And although everyone may not, I'm not going to say they will not, although everyone may not follow your directions and your ideas to save themselves, you are still trying to save someone, because if you did not care and you didn't want to save anyone, you wouldn't give out information or repeat the same videos over and over or talk about the same topics over and over, you know? So obviously, yes, I am trying to save the world, and other people are trying to also. They may not say that they're not trying to, but their actions show by them repeating their videos and posting videos every single day. So I am one of those people who are going to post every single day, or whenever, you know, it's, you know, convenient. So whenever I get in contact with someone who wants to go on either StreamYard, or I hear Zoom is the new chat room now, or Skype, wherever it is, or whatever the case may be, I am open for discussions. I am going to be talking about, you know, taxes. We're going to discuss taxes. We're going to discuss the reason why taxation without representation was old school, and, you know, and I'm going to get with that later on, because taxation taxation with representation means that, you know, they have a reason why they're being taxed. And no taxation without representation is meaning, you know, don't tax us if you don't have a reason to tax us. If it's ours and we worked for it, then give it to us, you know. If it's something that's $7.03 plus tax, well, just do the $7.03. The plus tax is just like, why, you know? And if you don't want to stop that, at least you can do is stop the taxes on people whenever they work. You know, it'd be fine if you tax someone, you know, but why not just go ahead and do the full amount of dollar? You know, the person, when they give you a full dollar amount, they still got more back for the product, no matter what, you know. Because I can see if you have something in bulks, of course it's going to be more. But once you separate something, obviously, you know, it might have cost a little bit to put words on here and to color this in, but everything in this one bottle, whatever this thing is going to be half the price of the full dollar amount that they charge you for. So, you know, just to stimulate the economy, you know, I understand, you know, you're worried about how much it costs to make certain things, but this is the business owner's responsibility, you know, and you really don't need to have a person to make anything when there's a machine to make pretty much almost everything that you make today. From bottles, from cars, from computers. There's a machine that makes it. So I can understand if a person was making things by hand, then you would tax them. But if they're making things with a computer or 3D, you know, there's no need for taxing. You know, I would just, you know, give the people the full amount, dollar amount, whenever they're working for you. And, you know, let the business owner decide everything. Because once the business owner decides to get a machine, a robotic machine to do the work for you, they save more money because they no longer have to pay workers. So therefore, they'll be able to save a whole lot of money or for themselves and not, tax anyone, So just another way of thinking about, making money and keeping the money that you have, not having anybody work for you because you have a robot to replace all the workers. And that would inspire someone else to get their own robot and start their own business. It's just that simple. A very good investment. It's something good to invest in. China is ahead of us, and there's some other states in America that's ahead of us as well. So people don't really have to consider working on, hands-on doing things and paying workers like that. So those are just the old school ways. We're talking about the newer school ways. So let's see. The other thing is, of course, veganism. The more stores that close down and become 100% vegan, the less sick people you would have. Because some people have family members and they have passed away from being sick. Perhaps you have been sick before, not passed away, or should I say almost. Or someone like a friend or a family member who is sick, who was sick, or who has passed away, or who almost passed away because they had high blood pressure, diabetes, gout, arthritis, or heart attack, cancer, anything disease-wise, or anything that's harmful to the body, that's causing the body to be sick. Fruits and vegetables and herbs replace everything. All of the damages within our organs in our body, anything natural replaces it. It repairs it. So if there was nothing but natural foods all around us, people would turn to the right thing. And yes, people have their own, opinions and decisions about what they should make. But let's just be honest. There are some things out there that's causing people to turn to the wrong foods because of advertisement. And if they don't advertise these things and advertise fresh foods and take away, they don't have to take away the restaurants like McDonald's or Burger King. Just change the menu and have everything vegan. Have it taste so good, just like you were eating the natural food, the food that you were eating. Let them relate to the texture of the food so that they can feel comfortable eating it. Advertise tasty vegan foods on billboards so that people won't feel tempted to be trying out, a real hamburger or something like that, so that people can live long and be healthy. And so, that's something that I want to talk about. So whoever wants to, get on board, there's other things that we can, talk about. If you have a great topic and idea to discuss, let me know and I will jump right on it and I will give you feedback because I will answer your questions all day long. Any question that you have for me that's regarding how to change the world and how to have a different lifestyle, let me know through a message. Send me an email at christopherwilliams911@aol.com. You can find me on Skype, Zoom, StreamYard, or my Instagram page at Mj'sBlueTHRILLER, or go to my Facebook at Mj'sBlueTHRILLER or christopherwilliamsdc. Send me a message on my public figure page, or you can send me a message on Instagram or my regular Facebook page. Or just leave a comment below and let me know that you want to collab and have a video, and we'll schedule something for later on. See you guys. Have a great night. Bye. Thanks you.